So you know that what follow TEWU for common now we no.
Yeah.
We must say we vehicle maintenance allowance. Abansi will drop it the any omunko adwuma.
Yeah, I think Ghana now no because it's a serious country. We are not serious. So sometimes people tend to take certain decisions out in chance. Now what is happening? Nancy as a President Mahama appoint you to GES, and for one of the institutions, and for that water.
Closac.
Yes.
Deaf and deaf.
Good. Yeah, workers. You see, so we are Ghana, now we are Jumainia. I cannot take away your right to protest because even the constitution, you know, make it quite clear. So when you're comfortable with your working conditions, everything, you have every right to protest in the way of ensuring, say, government a baby amount. And in that protestation, you know, there are procedures, there are options, alternatives that you can employ. One has to do with negotiation, then as a forum, such discussions. But you see, to withdraw services, I mean, because allowances are not ideal incentive for your demand because of a Juma. A bonus because of extra stuff that you do. So because of that, you know, withdrawing services because of those extra way, you know, does not make sense when your base pay, you know, is for the job that you do on a daily basis. But you see, and I'm saying over the years, we are not critical people. We don't look into some of these things. Oh, I'm entitled to car maintenance allowance. But you are not being paid because of car maintenance allowance. You are being paid because of your base salary. So base salary now will argue you can withdraw services and talk to government. Exactly. But the allowance, you know, you based on negotiations. We don't withdraw services. I don't know if you get a point that I'm making.
I understand that because allowance in there account, yes. But what catch you nankasa there no
so you can't withdraw when you don't have any issue with your destiny.
Your salary.
But you have. I'm not saying you cannot. Your friends say negotiate and not protest. You can still protest, but you don't withdraw service. There are several ways you can engage government just to ensure, say, or making sure that those incentives are available to you. I don't know reasons why government would decide to take such initiative away, but some of these things has to do with proper negotiations, discussions, and I'm not sure that government will just wake up and say, I'm taking them away. There could be reasons. So whatever it is, you know, you have your friends saying the power to engage, discuss, and have some of these things. Now, anything you will be asked about withdrawal services, there are no consequences. For Donald Trump, government even customer withdrawal services. So, yes, exactly. And Ghana is the same thing. There are a lot of people sitting home. So, if we decide that our approach is to hold government hostage, you are forced. A time will come, a group of people will go and sit home and people will go and take their position. Then be a president. That is some of the options that I will consider. Because you cannot hold me hostage. Trust me, I am the man in charge, making sure that I drive the larger vision of the people of this country and to ensure that we achieve what we want to achieve. Look at where Ghana is today. Economically, we are not doing well. Things are ayabasa. So you need to drive cautiously just to ensure, say, you fix things as you go. But at the early stages of government and people decide, oh, because of car maintenance allowance, because of this allowance, when your base pay is being paid, you don't have any issue. Recently, we had this 10% increment, which a lot of people have concern about. And so, the economy, you expect government to give 50%. People are even lucky that at these early stages, President Mahama has been able to give 10%. Economy now, maybe you don't understand. I wish you're creating a project Ghana economy for people to see the state of Ghana's economy. And trust me, maybe in 10% you can overdrop it. Yes. So I think that these are some of the things that we need to do. But this drawback and they are legitimate costs, they are legitimate concerns. Every Ghanaian who are dissatisfied with the working conditions, because some of these monies, one way or the other, are also back in their way. But you have to withdraw services. That is not the way to go, because your base salary, there is no problem. These allowances, you can still be at the job place. Now we're negotiating with government. There are several ways I'll be to government attention just to ensure that, but always withdrawing services. At the end of the day, the impact will go on all of us. And ebia omo yesa no impact no emfili. But we yesa na. What about other sensitive institutions that when they withdraw services, it affects Obia? Just imagine say you have certain nurses and the doctors to say, young so no your car allowance in as if for work hospital be anyhow. Do you know what will happen in this country? So when it happened in some of these areas, a man for our dream, but go to the other side and Obia feeling impacted. That's how hypocrite is the reason why I am adopting this approach in dealing with this matter. So that across boards, the benchmark will be the same thing. Stay, negotiate, and make sure say you get better conditions. But here you will draw a service. Just imagine doctors and nurses decide to go the same way. Can we survive in this country? And going forward, I think the government must also come in just to ensure say, me say, emolument regime is so skewed to the stand say, benefiting majority of people and other people suffer. For instance, now mami our SICCOE. Or the on kasa de ne earnings betu dwa ya otu wani na wo something one person is enjoying as a CEO of SIC na obi a ono so medical doctor wa bra ba ya doctor at hospital baby na at the end of the month ono 12,000 onya as a salary obinya 10,000 as a salary obinya 13,000 na obi because or your CEO at a particular way allowance onya no cross switch salary as a doctor I would treat life as a nurse. I know that we are humans. People begin to do comparison as a form, and I know that the motivation, the intrinsic motivation about for you, they will not do it. So I think we need to target our emolument structure. Now you're making sure say the obia deserve no nsabeka na nkwase ya pack ade ede no nyina kogu baby CEO your friend say
because sometimes I don't understand say he will be nana ketu as same president across
exactly
does it even make sense
me say CEO no crowd these state owned enterprises go there and check none of them and they make a profit. These are debt your friends saying driven in your friends institutions. None of them and state owned enterprise quite recently you saw the report over 2.2 billion your friends saying Ghana cedis eka and omodeba in this country. For the past 4 to 5 years, now you over 10.2 billion. So institutions and agencies that are supposed to make profits, or they are running debt, but they are the very people who are best paid in this country. Who at the same Bank of Ghana, or not to meet now when you are over 60 billion. Now or take fast salary allowance will see a man who cry over 50,000 a month and then as a phone. So I know the day
or being fear do a ketua.
Exactly.
No, I just me back.
And what we don't value in this country is services being rendered by people I am value of no nina count them on mine no police in here you are going to say here but police for you now will draw from the system. Do you know what will happen in this country? Look at teachers, look at nurses obia who here and we need to structure the emolument distance as a nipa the base salary enough. They will not complain about car allowance and as a for them to withdraw their services. It's just there is a fundamental problem. Or to you know Article 71 holders, Bafu, Yamane gardener, Yamane security, Yamane cook, Yamane driver, Yamane your saying bed allowance, hook allowance, all those nonsense of allowance, entertainment allowance, or 2 kanya per diem. Then as for we pay in dollars for them. So one person at the end of the day is going home a month with over 1 million Ghana cedis. The same teacher near okra similar qualification wa go to amount for Lego wakobi. Amount for UCC wakobi. Wa go through a okra first class and other classroom or the chira there. But because the choice is on this side of the coach the salary. Na yire ne ma da bi teacher ni bi a minim no. Ordinary catch you nyina agemo saa mo na wo de be free o mo na na for no but so me so our salary aka nuru 600 Ghana cedis e bi American say wa wo bebre ne ma be 6 wo be da hwe mo. I think there is a fundamental challenge. President will have to set up a committee. The emolument structure of this country will have to be looked at.
Now that tripartite committee can't they do Sanyama way my
committee. I want the committee no more animu na nkasa mo what they are gaining is what and no, this is Ghana for you. Committee na yate no or not tenasia. Go and look at allowances and the benefits they are asking for. Until it ends there. It ends where their interest ends. When I call negotiating for wine, I said we are making, you know, it's a fundamental problem. We need to look at overhaul this emolument structure and say qualification. It doesn't matter where you are. If you go to America, there are people or juma or even filling station or any better than somebody in government.
Yeah.
There are people need so push your friend saying almost a sabola. The earnings will be all year juma somewhere in government. It is about what you do. Because we don't value other services. Within services, and I say honorable take care now. What about radio station? Now upon no be a dinner. Honorable. It's all that life is about. Yeah, born now. No, 100 Ghana. No, a child when you pay that is honorable for you. But services are way be all render. No, as such what the honorable is rendering.
Yeah.
Because look at somebody or engineer in America. Obi or a medical doctor in America in a hospital. The people he's serving. How many politicians and a year do so you need to pay such people well so that the name say honorable no ban no because baby on he's earning well. So teacher in our Ghana they are earning well. Doesn't matter where you post that person. Ebasama people will stay. Now you man now you know obviously Jina Fato BBD, that kind of stuff. Debiana yere gunusu dina temsa wa mabra, but he's working for government. Ne magunusu they can attend good schools in as for them, but oye adwuma ma ban. What will be the motivation? Okwa adwuma no 1 week, okwa 3 days no wajai. So there is a fundamental problem ayete ho ya. I am expecting President Mahama say niema we nyina twama on sit down. Now yen hwe the emolument structure across board. Now you review important. Now you're making sure that the base salary of every single Ghanaian, you know, is something, is worthy. Some people who know, is it allowance? I cannot blame people who drain services because of salary. Now your salary allowance exactly. Salary so allowance in the idea get them going. But we live in a country of about 33 million Ghanaians. Yeah, people who work for government are less than 800,000. But omo government appointees can't say we know sika omoje eso change the entire people. I just say we are sick as a country. Abaye politics and abaye nice avenue people are making money. So I think we need to sit down and think. You see, Ghana at this point we need thinkers. People will be able to diagnose the challenges, the problems, and for fair solutions ever address it. And then commitment to do is another thing. That is the only way. Ebasa, nkaban sesa ye, obi has a president bebo ni dinna kwasha baby. But that is the only way you can make money. But I don't know ya, obi a teacher ni, obi a nurse, obi a doctor. He will not be waiting for government appointment. Because obi wa America na or a nurse or work here, hourly no or earning the big money. And monthly no, he's doing well. They don't even waste their time talking about politics. You only hear politics when they are going to the next election. But kroba enam ohiane adrenrentino. From day one to the next to election day, there be a politics. Because that is the only way a man for we eat. About radio, so no, come out on a no affair, on a boy, and me come out. Now I send you 200 a man, on a boy, me come out. A serial caller, as all count number, some man or recording, no Sunday man. And you see, these people, you can't blame them. There is no job opportunity. The people who are supposed to create the incentive will not create. They want to own everything so that we become slaves. That was the last time I was telling you, say, politics, leadership, not part of the world, you know. Poverty, a tool, a deliberate political tool, impoverish the people, enslave them so that always and always they see you when you come to their aid as their God. That is the politics that is happening. Enti oko constituency anopa, yeah. MP no ba hono munya tesa wa ba. The whole constituency jitwi na yakogina na ponano. Honorable me ware this weekend o me ye adoring. Honorable me na nawu. Enti we MP na constituency within a week we di ho agrabeto fundaka be 40. Because obi ni nipa wu di the constituency no obi eba ho. Well, you are the only person they look up to. Also we need sasika nti what do you have to do? Esa won so we ye utwa cut corners to get something. Obi a okoye wedding aba honorable. Na we need sika okoye wedding. But omu nyina be ba ho. Me yera honorable me yera wo. Honorable me ba school fees. But that is the culture we have created. Creating an impression say we politics in my avenue we are rich. And all the emoluments in a channel to you, but you are spread it across border. Obi oye teacher ni. Why would the person go to honorable for your friend saying for sika? Say or the kutia ne ba medical bills na se for them. We need to restructure the emolument way no. Say ya wherever obi are finding a hono. life will be comfortable, so that you may not have to depend on Obi. This life of dependency, this slavery kind of way, emolument structure, and no can be no be and President Mahama will have to look at it and make sure say you review the emolument structure, say even across board, depending on not where you are. It should be what you do. So it's possible say Obia onam Kroma also Zoom lion baller no or any better than Obi or bank. It should be possible because hard work pays. Elsewhere in America, hard work pay.
Oh, I had a hard work being paid. People you work smart.
Yes, and now no, Madam for be frame also ye broni bi adwuma no mo kwa. Omo ye ya jeje obi a phones and they'll make sure say 5 hours now you work 5 hours. Kroma obi kwa adwuma ko report no nam afa no kwasra na girlfriend. People don't work, so I know the day hours na ye dey adwuma no. What is the productive output? Why not quantify upon all the economic discussions across Kroma? What is obi data bi abeto anim say Ghana for your 1 hour. This is our productive output. What to be that? People they don't even go to work. You go to workplace, people are not there. But near warehouse na say boxes na upeja. Page 1 hour, peja boxes 50 minutes non-stop. And sana maybe you go break. You are working, but that thing is not there. Clock in, clock out. In government institution, there should be a system that clock in, clock out is there, so that Nipano every day we are able to monitor. So I know the day controller and accountant general will get the data to be able to assess. Nipano 28 days, no, this number of days you are entitled to your full salary. One car. There should be a way. You see. So as a smart government, and I make us say, you see. Or you're smart or you're smarter as government. Okay. So in a day, you make sure they clock in every 2 hours. Oh, Master, we are smarter. You should be smarter. Every 2 hours you clock in.
And I want to want to
exactly. You force people to be at work. And I think some of these things.
Government institutions,
yes. Na adia san ya na nsam me ko ba bi se me koto ade nipa na o te kanta no ejina TikTok na tesa asa wo bona so ma for what time na no hwe TikTok na ya bia sound de asama wo kan kra government institution working time ya jina TikTok hwe ma mo sada that kind of nonsense. The culture is so sick. I think
social media and I'm boy and crowd.
Nanka ma that's on YouTube video bi atem. Oba penyin wa sorry ne sekro ntwitwi na tam camera sin no di amanfo atem.
No so the achievement no. Yansha your last topic na fe ye ne heart builders metwa so. Me ya sure they say boko ye ni mara asa asem no ka na asem hwanyan enti bibi ketwa bi ekwa keka ne ho pe na asan aginsemu ye say enkura ya wo mo ewo senior high school yi ye ka ne sen Boko Technical Institute and afe senior high school back where or more ye peace ceremonial.
Okay.
I done it okwa. Ama wama kwa bro mo ho say niema. Oh God. They say Boku
yeah, I think that Boku issue gradually get it out of hands. And I think that there should be a serious approach. You see, over the years, that mediation, reconciliation, that kind of way, it doesn't seem working. I don't know what the fundamental problem is, but whichever way you see it, it's tribal. There is this ethnocentric dynamics. And when people get peeved based on tribal sentiments and as for now, deep-seated and deep-rooted. It's very difficult to do away with it. That is why I think we need to look at the problem and devise means of. There are concerns and your friends say we are man for accuse some individuals of say sister two from Accra to some individual fueling the conflict and as a forum. I think government must come up with a definitive approach. I bet me what decisively to do with some of these things. You see, issue na bana individuals are among victims. There are people, the perpetrators. How do we even deal with them? We cannot just say it's just war, conflict, so you commit atrocities and get away with it. When we get people involved in some of these things, the punishment should be so severe and so consequential to the extent that, nothing will motivate you to do some of these things. But Boko conflict is starting here. I ya kwache ka ya twaja atum ya hia manfo ya kunwe no the corporate no
from
one who severe punishment be baby. So there is enough motivation for people to do guns that people where they got it from you don't even know. Na nipa na sometimes you do search and you're able to identify people owning guns in Nasa forum and we've been able to question them how we that particular gun because to get a gun it might come from somewhere because baby we free you know there should be a paper trail. We should be able to identify some of these things. So I think government will have to, and then I am for no more honor, or we are behind some of these things. You know? Then we also speak to them. Because the communities, these things are happening. Yeah, the economic deprivation there is so astonishing. So, but offenses will be access to gun to go and kill Ninuya. Because of chieftaincy, because of whatever reasons. And this thing has been dragging for far too long. I'm free said, whatever the problem is, there must be a decisive action from government just to ensure say, we end this nonsense once and for all. Because at the end of the day, the amount of money our state spending, sending troops, soldiers, can equally give life to young people. Go to Okohu among Krano, among Mututo to Okono, Kwanakoshe Omamba, life or Mulivo. And these are some of these young people who have a lot of talent, opportunity, potential, but because the elderly are blinded with some of this tribal nonsense in Intino, they don't even see the potential in their own kid, and they need for them to stop this nonsense and make sure say Sikano will be invested in their kid, because some of these atrocities being unleashed on themselves, they are passing it down to their kids. They will come and continue because ne papa chance and the enemy ne papa na onanam hono, they will grow to hate them. You understand? So I think that this nonsense, government is also working to ensure that they stop. The people out there, nankasa tama say omuhunyansa hunse, baby atama do no, sa tribal nonsense we enfam ko baby a. Development any here. If you don't want development for yourself, fight it for your own people, your kids. Your children deserve better. You need to put them in good schools and make sure say they don't grow up in such a toxic environment because they will become what you are. Your kids will become what you are and what you're doing. So this whole thing will continue in their entire life. They will grow hating one another, and other people elsewhere are growing in an environment where they are being exposed to AI, computers, and as for them. And at time you see, so you become useless in the world environment because a man for growing up. These are some of the things your parents got you exposed to. Papa for no government has a responsibility to ensure that this nonsense stop, but the ultimate responsibility rests on the chiefs. And somebody needs to look to them in the face and tell them this ugly truth. And yet there be a government in Sunday truth. The ultimate responsibility rests on the chiefs. I don't know, it's a diamond or whatever. For what reasons? I think we need to speak in plain languages to the chiefs, both sides. No one who say what they are doing is absolute nonsense. There is no space for such things in this modern society. You me. What here we are thinking Internet of Things. We are thinking progression. We are thinking about your friends say how we can reposition this country. Say young people will take advantage. That young people no include people at Boko, young people at Boko. And lawyers are more there and some can grow to become way, but if this is what they are being exposed to, what is the chance that they can even go to school? Well, I'm told school then cry treasure to me. Yes, yeah, sorry, dying. What to come it me use a market our con free tribe we know be a kunkwa. Such nonsense cannot continue. So government, in as much as I blame government for some kind of way, we don't see that safety way, a buying cannot stop the conflict until the people there are ready to give up. And they need to partner and make sure say because sika to be near betimi aye obekona nipa ne nantwie enu minsuo from and wunya pipe on water ompe na sika na ye tugu no na ye me ya no se enkra mayo mu free north eba Kumasi be ye kaye ya ohu ebinum a omo ho fe young people with great talent. But because of baby opportunities are not there, they are forced to come to Kumasi to do kaya or bar. Because of our opportunity, no bin na kwakoda. Now I am ne bano kro ni ne papa. Now crash and chia no panel some pure water or so we kaya ye. Now you can't condemn people to this barbaric culture. It is not nice.
All right. Ivan Kyei innocent and I'm stressing no pa mama na bre but me ana meet me aye ne sa. Mama na me bra panyi ase.
Minia listo we na jam
na wodi wasim. Okay. Mama na Ivan ase na me twa me ho TEWU emra me ba Heart Builders Real Estate e wa ha me no be bon komo. Basisia.